sister doesn't want you playing with me.
Welcome back, everyone, to our video game book club. We are on part 3, our third story part of Bioshock 2. And this is going to round us out for our actual, main gameplay story here. So we're just going to dive right in. We're going to dive right into level 7. We're going to do 7, 8, 9. And this is going to take us to Fontaine Futuristics. There was a quote right at the beginning of this where Ryan is talking. It's like, this facility belongs to the city now, to Ryan Industries, at least until the rioting subsides. While it is unfortunate that such measures had to be taken, I must admit it is gratifying to see this building condemned. So, Fontaine Futuristics is the 7th level, and it was the corporate HQ and research lab that produced plasmids, Big Daddies, and other tech for Rapture. And as always, we'll just do a quick bit of history, right? Quick bit of story lore. So, we all remember Fontaine Futuristics, right, from the first game. I think this is the only place that we go to in this game that we visited.
Like a revisit
in the first game, but we visited a different part of it because it is a large corporate headquarters. We visited
not same room or anything like that. Yeah.
No, we visited like the opposite side. So it was established as a lab and business HQ for Frank Fontaine, of course. His businesses employed, just a quick reminder, some of the best minds in Rapture. So that's Tenenbaum worked for him, Yi Su Chong worked for him, and somebody we're going to meet, Gilbert Alexander, worked for him all before the fall of Rapture. And after Fontaine's death, so prior to the 1958 New Year's Eve riots, Andrew Ryan had the city take control of Fontaine Futuristics and placed under control of Ryan Industries. And I know you might be listening being like, wait a minute, this game's 8 years after, and he was in the game after the fall of New Year's. That's because you will recall, he was not Frank Fontaine that whole time, right? So he took on a moniker of somebody else, and we hear a little bit of that at one point. I don't remember if it's in this level or the next level. I think it's in this one, actually.
Audio log.
You make your way to the office, and he's talking. He's doing the audio log, and he does drop into the accent, and he was like, Frank Fontaine's dead, and so on. It was very good.
It was very good. I like that one.
So soon after, the Atom Labs here were converted to design and create the first Big Daddy and Little Sister pairs under Andrew Ryan. And here the Big Daddies of the Alpha series were built and tested through the joint effort of Su Chong and Gilbert Alexander. Again, somebody we'll meet in a moment. And I just had a note, we remember that the last game that Su Chong was the one that had the breakthrough with the Big Daddies, right? We heard all of those audio logs in the last one. And he hid a lot of the secrets to, the Big Daddy project and linking them with Little Sisters and the ways to control them in his apartment, which we did visit in Bioshock 1. So, work resumed here at Fontaine Futuristics until the successful bonding of Subject Delta to his little sister. So, us to Eleanor. And Ryan then condemned the facility and put an end to Fontaine's legacy. Even after being condemned, though, Gilbert Alexander and several other scientists continue to work in the hidden research facility built behind the building. So this is where we spend a lot of our time in this game. After Ryan's death and the Civil War, Gilbert resumed control of the entire facility per order of Lamb. And he also restarted the Protector program, which had stopped when Rapture Society broke down because, people were already on drugs and on Atom. They didn't, because of the Civil War, nobody was working, so they didn't really need people going out and collecting it and selling it. So all of that stuff stopped. She started it all back up. Gil worked on the latest Big Daddy model, and Sophia Lamb used the building herself to experiment with Adam's uses for preserving memories and skills in DNA. So it sounded like she was taking a little bit of Tenenbaum's work, a little bit of the Nazi science, for lack of a better word, sure, and seeing what she.
I don't think it's for lack of a better word. It straight up came off as Nazi science when you're reading or hearing some of these logs.
That's fair. And Gil Alexander was the main candidate for these tests because he was one of the only people left. But when the project left him horribly deformed and insane, the building was abandoned by Lamb. The structure fell into a state of disrepair while under control of Alex the Great. I don't know if you guys saw the zoomies.
I saw the
just
zoomies.
happened.
Yep.
I saw Poppy. Yeah.
Okay, guys, you gotta go. You can't.
Are
be
they both in
barking.
there?
Bash just ran in and he's barking at her. Okay. So, we. Sorry, Preston.
Bash is like, Dad's podcasting. Get the fuck out of here, Papa.
I don't know where they came. Like, she just came flying in. So we as the character, as Subject Delta now get to Fontaine Futuristics, and we need to get a genetic key from Gilbert, who Sinclair told us is still here, right? And this key will unlock the hidden passage that we walk past to Sophia's stronghold in Persephone, where he's hiding Eleanor. So, as we're underwater from the last level and we're walking through, Sinclair's talking to us, is like, if I remember correctly, that little gas station there was all just like a front for what was hidden underneath, like the hidden labs of Persephone. That's where we need to get to, and the guy inside this building is going to have the key to do it. The problem we face as we move along is that Gilbert, or as he's now known, Alexander the Great, is insane due to the Adam experiments. But before losing his sanity, he left us a bunch of recordings that instruct us on how to destroy him. And man, going through this level, it was one of my favorite levels in the game because one, the design is awesome, but it is so well done. You have this guy who you're greeted with, he's talking to you on a flying turret, and a camera's like, I'm in control of this place, you need to get out of here. He's just talking a whole bunch of shit. At the same time, you have the same guy pre this Fall of Rapture, and he's left recordings of they're torturing me, they're doing stuff, it's making me go crazy, but I'm still sane enough right now, so I've left a trail of these audio logs, please listen to them, it's going to tell you how to save me or destroy me. It was so well done.
He says to destroy it. He's never... Yes. All of his so there's two recordings, right? There's the ones that he leaves for you that are basically this is my last will and testament, you have to kill me. I've tried everything else up until this point to not do that, but I'm no longer, I don't have that option anymore. The other ones are the ones that you hear of him through the testing process, where he's still fully on board with the plan, all the way up. So you watch, it's interesting to hear his descent all the way to the point of, yep, I'm fucked, you have to kill me. But up into that, there's the beginning where he's very much Lamb is the best.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
super awesome, and this idea rules. I am on board, and I will basically be Judge Dredd for all of Rapture. I have no problem doing that. This is the best way to do it, blah, 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 blah. And then it's things aren't great, but I think that Lamb has my best interest in heart. And then it's, oh boy, this is really bad. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And then you get all the way up to your message, or the messages he leaves for you, not you specifically, but whoever was to get there, which is basically oh fuck, someone's going to have to kill me. Lamb is bad, actually. And what she's done to Eleanor and all this other stuff, I was clearly just a stepping stone. I was, she knew very early on that I was not going to be able to do this. She did it to me anyway to fully get through all the testing. Someone has to put me out of my misery. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck in a fucking vat for whoever, God knows how long.
There was also an audio log in the last level or the next to last level. I think it's him talking, where they're talking about his work on the Big Daddy stuff, and he was Subject Delta continues to just
I think that's in this one still.
it's like Subject Delta continues just to like excel at everything he does. Like they came in to give him his doses today, and he took out 4 people, snapping limbs and throwing people across the room. And like some people say that like some of the doctors may never recover, or some may never be able to walk again. He was like, it's so impressive. It really just makes you want to continue forward with the work you're doing. You're just like, wow, crazy man.
I know,
so
dude.
it's
I know.
nuts.
Yeah.
So we have to make our way. So Alexander the Great, or Alex the Great, he does contact us through the modified security bot, which mounts like a TV screen. It really just has like this crazy stare. Sometimes like an eye really close to the camera, or like half a face, right? And it has a speaker.
I actually love how they do this. It's like, because it, you know, you find out later why, but there's like just this one little piece that's still fucking there, you know.
So yeah, there's like a speaker that lets him talk to us, and it even has a Tesla coil, which lets him like sabotage devices. He can electrocute people with it, and he just carves messages into the walls, which mostly just say "you're fired" all over the place. And like below the message are people that have been electrocuted to death. So we first have to make our way forward by destroying 4 hacked bot stations. So like he tells us essentially, hey, you're trying to get forward, but you can't get this area because I have it all on lockdown. He sabotaged these bot stations. We have to go around, break his control on them, and then that lets us get to where Alex the Great is in his lair. And when we get in there, we find this huge tube tank.
I couldn't really tell what was in there. I mean, I knew it was him, but like I didn't know, like, did he turn into a whale? Did he just get really big, or?
So you're not sure at first. You see something move in the vat, kind of like slither up and twist around. Yeah, and Gil has been heavily mutated, and essentially he's like calls on all the splicers and a bunch of Alpha Series Big Daddies to attack us. And he was like, because again, the Alex the Great, this mutated creature in the vat, does not want to die because he is controlling his little fiefdom through the security bot. But then, of course, we know Gil, before the descent, is leading us through what we need to do of like, oh God, please kill me. Please do what you can to kill me. And what they've done is he's so mutated through the atom that we need to get more atom to attract this creature in the vat and lure it out a bit so we can destroy it. So they've used these like atom pollinated flowers that we have to collect 4 of to bring him out. And sorry, Preston, you were going to say something there.
Yeah, I was just thinking, does he turn into a giant version of those like atom worms that you keep on finding on the ocean floor? I just thought about that.
He is kind of like a worm with like 6 legs.
So he must have turned into one of those atom worms. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to tell.
It's real hard to tell what's in there. Yeah.
Next level, we'll get there in a minute. In the next level, there's a sculpture. Yeah. So once we get to where he is, and we have to kill him. He says he can only be lured out. Blah blah blah. 4 atom plants. Let's see where my notes are. So after we do that, we get to the panel. We lure Gil out, and we take genetic material off of him because the hidden door is locked behind a key that only recognizes his genetic material. So we take that so we can unlock the door, and this is where the final recording of like Gil beg us to kill him and set him free. And this is where we have a choice. It's our third choice in the game, to where we can leave someone or kill someone. So I will pause here and ask you all, did you kill him?
You don't need to ask us. You just want me to say it out loud because we've already discussed this. So I was the only one who didn't kill him. Now, there was parts of me that I didn't want to do because the creature is actually telling you no, right?
Evil.
But also, like, I was playing this while Travis and hanging out with Travis and Christian, and we were talking a bunch. So I did kind of miss a bunch of the torture
so it was their
pieces.
fault. Okay.
No, it's my fault. It's 100% my fault because I wasn't fucking paying attention. I could have still paid attention. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of the torture stuff. But yes, if I should have killed him. But is that considered part of a bad if you kill him, or should you be forgiving him or like doing something like of that nature to where it's like with the last guy?
Forgiveness.
I don't know, not forgiveness, but like it's doing something of that nature to like something morally is better if you leave him somehow.
So, you're not the only one that left him alive. Oh. I just didn't confirm what I did the last time. So I also left him alive.
Okay.
Now Christian went the merciful route, which was please put this man out of his misery.
Merciful.
However, this game's morality system actually breaks on this one, because the good answer is to let him live, even though he's begging you to kill him. I know, it is absolutely crazy. So it goes along the lines of, and this kind of comes up at the end, but it's forgiving people for what they did and letting them live, which for the other characters makes sense. For Gil, 100% does not make sense. But the correct answer is to let him live.
In my mind was, those were his old recordings. He may have changed as a person / being, and now we have the old version of him saying he wanted him to die, but this one doesn't. So I'm like, well, he doesn't want to die, so I'm not going to kill him. And that was my thing. Now, take for granted, I was kind of just running through, killing things, and then just kind of letting the audio logs go in the background while trying to read while talking to Travis and such, but yeah.
I killed him first and then reloaded my save and said, let me look this up to see what I need to do for the ending.
Save scrubbed.
And it was well because so I did it for everybody because I wanted to see what happened, but I also wanted to see, like, essentially I would do it and see if a trophy popped, and like if a trophy popped, I go, oh, it's probably what they wanted me to do. But if not, I would be, I would continue on, and I would just be like, what do I need to do to make sure I get the good ending for this playthrough? It's just supposed to let him live, which is bonkers to me because it's not the merciful way to do it.
No, I disagree with that entirely. I think that he begs you the whole time to let this end, and it also does not make sense because you are making it so that he is stuck suffering for, I mean,
forever.
Technically, all the way up until what happens at the end of the game, right? But like, he would just be stuck there.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the game. So the idea is that Rapture will continue to exist where it is right now, and he will be stuck there
in a vat
forever.
I thought he said something about, like, I'll go outside. Like, please let me live. I'll go outside or something like that. That's what I thought I heard at the very end.
I don't recall him saying that. It is possible. I was gonna say I actually think it would have been a better moral choice if the recording was saying please kill me because this is what I've turned into, and the other one was saying I want to live, please set me free, and the answer was release him into the ocean. Actually, that would have been a good one, because then you would have actually had to think about it, like, this new guy versus his old personality. Do you let him live? Do you not let him live? That would have been better. I think, and then you flush him into the ocean. What I would have seen.
My understanding was that I left him in the vat.
Oh,
that's what I thought.
To stay in the tank. I could have
swore he said, "I'll go outside." Like, it's like, no, I'll leave, kind of thing. Like, I'll just go. Like, just let me live. And that's why I thought he said at the very end. That's what caused me to have
Interesting. I'll have to go back and check. But
if that's the case, he could have just left whenever he wanted. So I don't understand.
But he's telling you he'll leave now. But which, of course, you can't trust him if he's gone crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, if they had like a button that said "let him go," then I would have understood that one for sure.
Release.
Yeah. Right, but from my understanding, it was you let him suffer in the little tank forever, or do what he originally said which is please let me die because I don't want to exist like this. Sure. I want to pass on to whatever is next and be done.
Yeah, and he'll never die the way he is. Right. He's been mutated. And we actually find that out. I don't have this in note anywhere, so I'll say it now, but we also find that out later with all the Adam enhancements and stuff like the little sisters have. There's one recording where the guy's like, this little sister threw herself off a balcony and broke her legs. And before I made it as a doctor, before I made it down to where she was, they had healed themselves. So, like, same thing. He's so infused with Adam, he may never die, right? So I agree. I think they should have been more clear. It should have been like, hey, release him or kill him. So if you do kill him, essentially you electrocute his tank until like a bunch of little blood clouds come up, and that is what that is. But yeah. So after that, We go back outside into the sea with our new genetic key card to open the secret pathway to Persephone. Let me come back to that. I have an I have a little Easter egg thing here, but I'll get back to it later. So, Persephone, in the house of Upside Down, cellar's top floor, attic's ground. In the house of the Upside Down, found is lost and lost is found. Actually, let me ask. The unstable teleport plasmid, was that in Outer Persephone or was that in Fontaine? That was in Fontaine Futuristics.
No, that was in the later one, I thought. Was it not?
No, it was in Fontaine Futuristics.
That's in Fontaine Futuristics.
All right, so I do have the Easter egg part here.
Yeah.
Did you guys find the unstable teleport plasmid?
I chased it for a while, but I couldn't get to the end spot. Because I got to one point where it's like, I don't know where it's at, and we're getting close to the end of this section.
Okay.
I went all the way through.
You should have passed by eventually at the end. So, Big Sisters have this ability to teleport, and it's due to them like repeatedly ingesting blood that is contaminated with a teleport plasmid, which is something we never get access to, but we have seen them use. So there's an Easter egg reference to this because I guess in some marketing material there was an advertised like teleport plasmid that never saw its way to either of the games.
Huh.
So essentially you like chase the jar around and every time you go to touch it, it teleports away and it's like showing it's unstable by like changing colors. I think it does it 5 times. And when you eventually find it in the beginning, it takes you to another room. But before it does, when you touch it on the last time, there's a scene of like one of them has like a confused splicer. He's like walking up to it and looking at it.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? Outside. Yeah, and then there's like a room that shows like a...
Yeah, the other one, like when you're in a room and you're looking out and you see a splicer running down the hallway being chased by the plasmid, like floating through the air.
That's hilarious.
So ridiculous.
I didn't know this was an Easter egg. I thought this was part of the story. Like I had to do that to get to the fucking like to turn off the security thing, right?
Yeah.
And so that's so strange. Yeah, so I was doing it because it ends you, it like warps you back, but one of the things it shows you is a lady who's like strapped to a chair, she's dead, and then it's like it gives you like a passcode. So I assumed that I had to do this to get that passcode for something, because I went and found that area and then unlocked the thing and blah blah blah. But that's so interesting that this was just completely optional. I did not know that.
So I made it to that room earlier, and I could look through the hole and see the code. But so it shows the confused splicer, and then it shows the splicer being chased by the thing twice, so it goes both ways. Then it shows another hint of a sea slug where you go out, like another 5th sea slug out and about. And then it shows what you just talked about, Christian, another hint of like, here's a code and here's where to get to. Just a little Easter egg, and then at the end of it, you're teleported to a room where you
because I did see that happen. I was like, I thought in my head, I was just like, oh, I think the game's just trying to be funny, but I didn't realize that it was actually like a whole like bit about it. That's interesting.
Because you can walk up and you can see it. Maybe people touch it and they lose it once, or maybe they find it again, or like press and you eventually they don't make it clear on where it goes. It's easy to. I
got like at least 2 or 3 touches on it. Yeah.
When you get to the last one, it gives you a vending expert Teutonic, which is disappointing. Like I kind of wish it would just give me like that one. That would be dope, but whatever. So anyway, I just remembered that, and I didn't know where that fell. So Outer Persephone, also called. So this is some weird stuff too, just random background stuff. In the messages, so if you're trying to see your audio logs, this level is just called Lamb. Then in the save menu, it's called Persephone Outer. And then on the loading screen, just called Persephone.
Yes.
And I think that's just because they didn't know what they wanted to do with it. Fontaine Futuristics also has a different name.
To be fair, I think it honestly, it could have just been something they missed, because I think Bioshock 2, it came out pretty quickly after Bioshock 1. So I think that, Well, so Fontaine Futuristics, they were going to call The Abyss, and you could still see that title in one of those places as well. And it's because the dev said originally you were going to go into Fontaine Futuristics quickly, but the 90% of that level was going to be in the water, on the edge of like the abyss. And I'm actually really sad about this. I don't think I have it.
in my notes, but I was really sad about this because they said the original idea was you would do all the stuff outside, so not a whole lot of enemies, but like some puzzling, and then to get to Persephone, you were just going to be on the edge of a cliff looking over into blackness, and you were just going to watch your character like throw themselves off of it, and then you would have come down into where Persephone would have been. That would have been cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
So anyway, yeah, so this is the correctional facility we knew about. So before the events of the Rapture Civil War, Lamb seized control over all of Persephone. She and her followers she had gained in the prison population while she was in prison there essentially just waited out like the conflict above, and let it die down. And once it did, Lamb eventually used the prison as her staging ground to kind of begin quietly like reinserting her influence to the rest of the city. So she set up an office in the outer part of Persephone where she would just like broadcast stuff. So she would broadcast her public addresses and her announcements, how she's been talking to us, right? And later she began her plans for the transformation of Eleanor Lamb, where she set up a room there in the quarantine area. So after getting Gil's key, we enter the hidden elevator, which takes us down to the confines of Outer Persephone, and our objective is to finally reach Eleanor. And the beginning of this level, very straightforward. Just walk down some hallways, pick up a couple of audio logs, keep going, until eventually we come to an atrium. And in this atrium, on the opposite side behind some glass, we see Eleanor and we see Sophia trapped. And as we go to hit the button in like to unlock the two doors to get us in, we get attacked by two big sisters. Probably the hardest fight in the game, honestly.
I would say so.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, so I took a video on Steam Deck. I just forgot to grab it. I literally put proximity mines between the four pillars. I did trap bolts in 3 directions on the pillars, so one facing facing either pillar, and then one diagonal to the inside on all of them. I put 4 mini turrets, north, south, east, west, on the outside of it, and then I ran around in a counterclockwise area and shot trap bolts diagonally from every pillar, and then pressed the button and just watched the chaos ensue. And it didn't kill them instantly. I still had to shoot a couple like rockets at them, but still, once I hit him with a few rockets, that was it. Like, it was ridiculous.
That's fun.
It was good. So once we beat him, we tried to enter quarantine, but Sophia keeps the door in front of us shut, where she talks about Eleanor. I have a bunch of X's here, which means I meant to get what she said, and I completely just forgot to go back and grab what she says here. But essentially she talks about like how she knew she was losing Eleanor during the program, and Eleanor like took everything we said to heart and, you know, treated us as her moral compass, and she was like she could never live up to her potential, and there's only one way to break the connection between us. And then she looks at us and she's like, I'm sorry, and she grabs a pillow and just suffocates Eleanor with it right in front of us.
Yeah, because she tells us we're going to go into a coma if her heart stops beating, and that she's been seeing everything we're doing, and her moral compass has been judged by our decisions that we've been making throughout the game. So
yes, thank you, Preston, because I forgot to go back and grab some of that. So, but yeah, you're exactly right. That if and we've known throughout this playthrough that like that connection is also a physical bit of connection, right? That's why like we are going, if we're away from her too long, they say we're going to go crazy or we're going to die or so on. So if she dies, it'll break that connection that we have. So Eleanor's heart stops long enough for our bond to be broken completely, and we pass out. And we eventually wake up to Eleanor telling us what happened over the comm, as a little sister comes through the tube. And she's like, hey, this little sister is different than the others. I'm going to bring you back the same way that I brought you back before with Adam. But this little sister is going to allow you to take control of it through the Adam.
This is so sick.
That's exactly what happens. So she pokes us, and this goes back to like Lamb was doing research on how to transfer skills and memories through Adam, right, through DNA. So that's what happens. So as the little sister takes it from us,
and we've
our
seen pieces before, right? Like with old boy, like with Stanley, he talks about how like when we were going through and helping those little sisters, or the only 3 that Preston met throughout the entire game.
I met a lot of them.
You
interact with them.
Right. The only 3 that you interacted with. But we were getting flashbacks because of the atom that they were gathering.
Well, and that's what he said, right? He says, I don't want the little sisters to get back to Lamb and find out, because they would have taken the atom. They would have taken Adam from all the people that he killed during the flood to hide what he was doing. Right. Yeah. Which is a great tie-in.
Yes.
So for this part, we actually take control of the little sister. And so we start crawling through like the tubes, and the whole area is like beautifully decorated down here in Persephone. There's like a lily pond. There's like white drapes everywhere. And right in the middle, there's this huge golden statue of like a big daddy just like there in the center. And we keep going through the level, and we find Lamb like in her office from where she's been controlling. And because we're just a little sister, she doesn't pay any attention to us. I don't know if you guys did it. You can walk right up to her. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty much anybody that you interact with in that entire level. Because I thought, like, oh, do I need to sneak past some of these guys? But no one notices you and does anything about it.
No,
well,
I mean, because
really,
well, because keep in mind, in general, like Lamb, they're all followers of Lamb. Like even if they're splicers, she's keeping them up with Adam. So
they don't need
they're
us.
still like they don't need
sense.
us. They're still followers of her. So yeah, Preston, to your point, like you see people and they're all like dressed really well and like in fancy gowns and like the New Year's Eve garb, and they're just like looking at artwork because you go into like an art hall at one point. And so yeah, so like there's a large collection of flowers, like a view of the Golden City, and the artwork, if you paid attention, if you took a minute to notice, because it's not apparent right off the bat, they reflect your experiences with Gracie, Gil, and Stanley. And they are different for each player depending on if you let them live or if you killed them.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's where I actually got a pretty good view of what Gil looked like, or Alex the Great looked like, was from that thing. But I saw some artwork on the wiki when I was going through it, and they had pictures of each, so they will change depending on if you killed him or let him live, which I thought was a good touch. So, Eleanor tells us that like we need to do a couple things. Yes.
So I was gonna say, when you're that little sister, right? Like, there's a couple times that are you gonna get to this where the moments where that?
Yes.
Okay.
So Eleanor tells us that like we need to help her get her big sister suit, so Eleanor can help get us out of Rapture, right? So like we're not back in our body yet, our consciousness isn't fully back, but that's what they're working to help get, and she needs her suit to help us get there. So we continue on collecting pieces, and while we are, there's a couple things that happen. So like in the common hall, there's like an angel that's on the ground. Like we've heard them call these dead bodies angels the whole time. We see like a dead body is glowing white. It's got angel wings painted on the floor around it with like blue butterflies. Yeah. And like when we go to harvest it, we get a quick flash of what this area actually looks like, and the whole area is just the same Rapture that we're used to, with like blood and like there's, instead of drapes on the wall, it's like broken down walls or stuff growing, or like because we're in a prison, there's cell blocks and like the cells are cracked open and things are like, it was so well done. And there's even one part where the little sister walks forward and she sees one of these like family guys, just like one of the members of Lamb's family, just standing there, and then it flashes and he's a guy behind bars and he's like swiping at the little sister to try and get her because he's having Adam withdrawal. So it was absolutely perfect. And I just have a note, like, as a little sister, it's hard to see the true condition of the whole area. And other than the flashes, it's hard to see, but you can, I guess there's a way to cheat that through console commands. So if you really wanted to do it, you can actually see the area in its entirety, except for the central atrium. For some reason, I guess the devs decided to like not render. So it is just like the way that it is. But the rest of it, you can actually turn a lot of that stuff off and see what it looked like, which is crazy that they even spent the time doing that. But yeah. So, most cells are empty of prisoners except for the one. We have to pass through the area to find the gloves, the bodysuit, the helmet of Eleanor's big sister suit, and we also pass through the statues of Stanley and Grace and so on. We finally make it back to Eleanor's cell. It appears like full of toys. There's like soft furniture. There's pink wallpaper, all of that stuff. And after waking her up, Eleanor will either, and I'm interested to know what happened with you guys here. I know what happened with Christian. So after you wake up Eleanor, she will either rescue the little sister herself, or she will harvest the little sister, depending on how you have been playing the game. So for me and Christian, she rescued her. Preston, did she rescue her for you
the whole
too?
holy light thing coming off her. Yeah, just rescue her.
Okay. So I didn't know that because I wasn't playing the bad way, but she will do whatever you did.
Yeah, but based off of what you've done with the other little girls, not obviously worried about how many of them you did. You just how you took care of them in general.
Yeah, and she uses that atom that she takes from little sister to put back in your consciousness, so we are ready to go. And she gives us a special plasmid that allows us to summon Eleanor to call her into battle when necessary. Cool. And it is very cool. And we leave the room, and like she just starts tearing people up as soon as we leave. Dude, there is one thing. Go ahead.
There's one move that I did not know that Little Sisters had, and it fucking freaked me the fuck out. So I thought some of these splicers got new abilities, because this one splicer just starts flying towards me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm trying to swing, and I didn't hit him. I turn around. It's fucking Eleanor back there fucking grabbed him, like force pulled him, like, holy shit. So she starts doing it, and just funny to watch these splicers go, what?
So dude, there's like the times where she like skewers people.
Yeah, she does that too.
I was just like, God damn, girl, like you are a Devil May Cry character in this game.
I wish I was playing.
So if you upgraded telepathy to level 3, you can also pull small enemies. Yeah, you can. That's what she was using. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know if there was ever a moment where you were just like standing around like looking at her character design. Yes, telekinesis. Sorry, thank you. If you looked at her character design, for absolutely no reason, they gave her the anime stand. Right? Like, both of her legs are, like, turned in, and her knees
are yes, I know.
In.
Yeah, like the fucking, the broken anime knees. I know.
I was just like, why, devs?
I don't know.
What are we... Somebody drew that and went, there's going to be some deviant art about this. Is exactly
I was waiting for her... I was waiting for, like, her to, like, walk and turn, and then you'd be like, does that big sister have a booty? Like, is that what's happening?
That big sister does not have a booty. That's a flat butt.
It is flat. She's supposed to be young too, so there's nothing there. But it was weird that they gave her the like anime stand.
I know, but that's what I mean. That's why it's weird that they gave her the fucking feet.
It is.
You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So that's the end of that level. We get back to our consciousness. It's pretty quick in general, but I thought it was so well designed. Like the flashes you had.
Yeah, the flashbacks. Like, that one with the angel, but then also there's the one where I think it's the helmet. But you go to grab the helmet, and then one of the splicers reaches for you and is like, "Come here, you're Adam or whatever." Blah blah blah. Like there's that thing. Yeah, I thought every single time I was like, "This is," I would say that moment is better than maybe anything except the intro in Bioshock 1.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. It's crazy because
it's an incredible moment. It's I mean, so done.
We can just talk about it now too, right? Like this. So I've only played this game one time, which was when it first came out. So literally almost 20 years ago, right? Sorry. So literally almost 20 years ago. So I don't remember that much of it. I do remember back in the day, my young brain and my love for Bioshock going like, that's fine, but I don't like it that much. Playing it today, this
Ken
game
Levine had blinded you.
Yeah, this game. Yeah, honestly, probably like, oh, he's not on this one, and what the hell happened? And there's all that bad press of 2K in him, and going back and forth. I probably picked a side, right? Playing it today, this game has enhanced everything about the first game. Like, it made the world of Rapture better. Like, even this, it ties so much stuff together because the whole game, like, yeah, there's little sisters and there's Tenenbaum of like, oh, I'm trying to save these little girls that have been tortured. But you don't know like what's really happened to them, and you're also like, why are they walking around with this big daddy? Why do they want Adam? Like, This game has answered every question. They've showed how everybody ended up in the situation they ended. You've seen in this level why they're able to walk around with those red glowing eyes and why they're not bothered by like all the things going on, because they just live in this like tortured fantasy world where they think it's all perfect. Like, this game's great minus the escort missions that you engage with, right? Minus the collecting the atom. The story and the environment and the design of this game is fantastic throughout the whole thing. I freaking loved it. It made everything about Bioshock 1 better because this game exists.
Yeah, I everything about it, I was just like, this is the better game. Like, I just was like,
100%. It is absolutely the better game. It is the better game.
We'll talk more about it, but yeah.
It's bonkers that like I'm questioning one of my favorite games of all time that this is actually the better game. So
yeah.
So level 9 is Inner Persephone. So the quote here: "This place is the absolute definition of despair. Here we are, locked away from the outside world, suspended over a pit with no hope of release." Because originally this was supposed to be in the pit, now it's just hanging over the trench. So Inner Persephone is the 9th and final level. It's the north detention wing of Lake Persephone in the main entrance, and here the political prisoners of Rapture spent a majority of their time. The people opposed to Ryan. So the facility is centered around a docking platform, it leads up to the surface actually, and it has like wings that kind of separate the wards within. So life inside of Inner Persephone was pretty hopeless, and there was just a general state of despair that would drive the detainees to madness. But if they didn't go crazy just from being locked down there, then the medical experiments would send them insane, which is exactly what we saw with Gil. On multiple occasions, the prisoners threatened the warden with unrest, but it was the imprisoned psychiatrist Lamb who finally united the group into a coup. And while the city above tore itself apart, everybody down below just kind of took over, bided their time until the worst of the fighting was over. Then Lamb took control, and everything we know happened. So in this level, us and Eleanor are trying to board a huge lifeboat that Augustus Sinclair has docked next to Persephone in case he had to flee the city. But Sophia has it locked down. So we need the key from Sinclair to send us to the surface, right? To get Eleanor out and finish the game. But we find out Lamb has actually captured Sinclair, and that she has, in her time with him, because we actually haven't seen him in a while, like in quite a few levels. We've just heard him talking.
Seeing him in person.
Physically seeing him. We just heard him talking, right? So we find out that Lamb has turned him into an alpha protector. So his consciousness and his vocal cords still intact, but his physical body is controlled by Lamb. So what they kind of allude to is like maybe he was captured earlier and he's still been guiding us there, but she has been in control of where he goes, or she was letting him go certain places.
Well, I think the implication was that he got captured. So I think the way it came off to me was that he's been hanging out nearish the train or like somewhere around there since we left it. But then when we first got captured by Inner Persephone, when we got captured out with in front of Eleanor the first time, like when she smothers her, he says over the radio, "I'm losing your signal. I can't see you at all." And then his last thing is something to the effect of, it sounded like to me anyway, that he's like, I'm going to come to you. Like, I'm going to try to make my way to you. And I think it's when he goes to make his way that he gets captured and she fucks him up.
Good catch. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Good catch on that one. So we have to get a key from him, but Sophia kind of forces him to run away. So we have to follow Sinclair, now dubbed Subject Omega, into the holding cells, and we essentially have to kill him, right? And it's at his request, like very similar to Gil. It's like, look, he's screwed, he's been captured, he's been tortured and turned. So we have to kill him to get the key. And we do. So Sophia dumps when we make our way back, Sophia has dumped the lifeboat's ballast into the docking area, making it unable to disengage. But Eleanor comes up with an idea. She's like, look, we can just repressurize this area. We can heat up the water below it and create some steam, and the energy from her and the little sisters will boil the ballast water away, and we can use that to free it and then escape. So this is pretty easy. We just have to go to 2 different areas in this level, and we have to clear splicers out of little nursery areas where the little sisters are being held and turned into little sisters. And Eleanor, once we do that, goes into those rooms, and she's able to save each of those little girls, or harvest, depending on what you did throughout the game, right? She'll do what you did, because she was watching. But she'll save those little girls, and then when you get to the end of the level, they go into the room and use their powers, essentially, to kind of create steam and do the thing is you just defend what they're working on from a wave of enemies. It's all pretty easy. The fight's actually pretty simple, too. Now, what comes after that fight, though, is pretty difficult, depending on how much time you waste there. So when you go up to the center top of this area, the last thing you have to do is you have to equalize the pressure in the area, which means we need to flood it. And there are 2 little glass containers on the top right hand and left hand side of the room that you have to shoot to flood it. If you do not shoot those, you will get an endless wave of subject alphas, and
bruisers,
the bruisers.
I think that's it. Yeah, they put out you.
The
biggest of the bigs, they put out you, but yeah.
Yeah. And they'll do 4 at a time, so they'll do 2 of each, like, at one time, and they will not stop chasing you. I took out about 10 of them, and I'm like, oh, they're not stopping. And they will just keep coming.
As soon as I saw those things glowing, I'm like, I'm taking them down. Because I've been fighting those guys already. I'm like, you know what, even on easy, I'm losing some health here. I'm like, let's just go ahead and just finish this off.
Yeah, I got down to like 3, I think, little health things. I'm like, oh, they're not going to stop. So I went ahead and I shot them, and then as soon as you do, that ends it. So as you flood the area, you got to make your way to the elevator that will take us over to the lifeboat. We hop in the elevator, we come up, and then from our perspective, we're watching Eleanor lead the way, run through the hallway, and as she comes around a turn, you see her just put on the brakes. Because what's on the other side,
the animation was so well done.
Yeah, you do. So it kind of slows down and gives you a little slow-mo, just enough time for you to realize.
But she turns and is like, oh fuck, and like goes to like jump towards us to like shove us away kind of thing. And then the explosion, I'm like, oh dude, it's so well done.
Well, so I think what happened there is we see, they had like stacked up explosives. I think what she meant to do was jump toward us and touch us
to teleport.
And teleport us both.
Yeah.
But she misses and she teleports and we get hit by the explosion and that's that. And it was, like you said, it was so freaking good. So when it comes,
she slides across the ground almost like as she's cutting the corner. Yeah, it's so well done.
And just like the purple like teleport, just like a little ball right when the explosion goes off. So so that's the end, right? We wake up, and then there's a few different ways what you see next can go. And honestly, it was like a calculus problem trying to figure this out. So the first thing we see is in the lifeboat where Eleanor teleported to, Lamb was already in it, right? So what happens to Lamb in this now flooded lifeboat because they exploded the glass and let the water in, comes down to how many little sisters are saved or harvested, as well as which characters did you kill or spare between Grace, Stanley, and Gil. So it has to do with all of it. If you're like me and you saved them all and you let all 3 of them live, by the end of Fontaine Futuristics, you would have popped a trophy called Savior, and that is how you know you got the perfect ending.
Yeah.
If you did not get the trophy, Preston, you may have gotten. You could still get a good ending, but it will not be the perfect ending.
Yeah, I feel my ending.
Yeah, I got that one. Even though I killed old boy, I still got that.
Well, technically, you didn't kill old boy. You let the splicers kill old boy.
No. I killed Alex the Great.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I electrocuted him. Yeah.
Like I said, I think
He asked me to.
like I said earlier in the game too, when Preston killed the
But I did all the little sisters.
Stanley, like there are, again, they do enough to where you can kind of finagle your way through it by making a single mistake or two.
Yeah,
So
mine is just called Escape. That's all. That's the one thing I got.
yeah. So the perfect ending, what Christian and I should have seen, is so Sophia is struggling in the lifeboat because it's flooded, so she can't breathe, right? Like, remember, Eleanor's in her suit, we're in our suit, we're good. So she's struggling around to reach a pocket of air, and Eleanor swims in, and she hands her mom a small air tank to breathe from, letting her live, right? Something that she's seen us do the entire game.
Got that too.
So if Delta saved all the little sisters, we're merciful, Sophia saved from drowning, and as we're ascending, Eleanor will say, and then, Father, the rapture dream was over. You taught me that evil is just a word. Under the skin, it's simple pain. For you, mercy was victory. You sacrificed, you endured, and when given the chance, you forgave, always. Mother believed this world was irredeemable, but she was wrong, Father. We are utopia, you and I, and in forgiving, we left the door open for her. Then, you get to the surface. And on the surface, we kind of like Delta breathes his last breath in Eleanor's arms, and she crosses
our body is on the top of the
yes,
lifeboat.
Thank you. So as they're inside, we're just holding on to the outside as we're ascending up, right? So we actually die up top from the blast, and Eleanor crosses her arms on her chest, and then she like kind of respectfully and slowly like extracts Adam from us. And she kind of talks about how, like, we were always her conscience, and now that conscience and us will always be with her, as she, again, like, just transferring that consciousness and Adam to herself to continue to guide her on her way. And then as we look over, there's, like, 6 or 7 other little sisters that were saved, kind of like the first game. And they gather under the sun, and one of the little sisters hands Eleanor a doll, like a little doll of Subject Delta that was made years ago, and she takes it, she drops it to the sea, which is kind of what you get from the teaser of the Bioshock 1 disc, if you watched like the second where there's a little girl standing with that doll on the edge of the ocean. So that's the perfect ending. The good ending, probably what Preston got here, is Eleanor will say a little different. She says, the rapture dream is over, but in walking I am reborn. This world is not ready for me, yet here I am. It would be so easy to misjudge them. You are my conscious, Father, and I need you to guide me. You will always be with me now, your memories and your drives. And when I need you, you'll be there on my shoulder whispering, if utopia is not a place, but a people, then we must choose carefully, for the world is about to change, and in our story, rapture was just the beginning. So she is going to kind of take the ideals and the power and stuff that she got from her mom and take it to the surface. Bad ending. If Delta has harvested at least one little sister or spared all the NPCs, Eleanor will also let Sophia die. So, like, if you got the bad ending, she just doesn't worry about it, and she dies there. Yep. So I'm not going to go through like the bad ending. Actually, yeah, sure, I will. So you let her die. So hold on, again, this is a fucking okay. Eleanor then at the top takes Delta's essence against his will, so she actually kills us in the moment.
So we survive the.
We do survive.
Okay.
And she takes it against our will. And she watches as the bodies of the dead splicers rise to the surface, and the corpse-filled ocean crashes violently as a powerful thunderstorm rages overhead, foreshadowing the bloody future that the world's going to face now that she's made it to the top. And then she says, the rapture dream is over, and in waking I am reborn. You may not have wanted me, Father, but you defined me. You chose to survive no matter the cost, and I will not let your instincts go to waste. You'll always be with me, your memories, your drives. When I need you, you'll be there whispering on my shoulder. There is no name for what I am, but the world is about to change, and with your help, they'll never see me coming. Which is like a dope...
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Man.
That is crazy. So the other one I'm not going to go through because this is where things got like really complicated. There's a third and fourth ending, but there's a third ending you get called the choice ending, which is if you saved at least one and then harvested all the other little sisters or vice versa, and then depending on what you did with the other 3 people, you get to choose how you go at the top, right? So like there's a little different talking like statement at the top while you ascend, but when you get to the top, you can choose as Delta, I'm ready to die, like take my stuff and you can go, or you can choose to survive, and the survival one, it's kind of like varying endings of like the sacrifice one. You kind of like fight for survival and you fight with Eleanor, and it's kind of like a version of the bad ending. And the other one is like you willingly sacrifice yourself, and it's like a version of the good ending. But yeah, you actually as a player get to choose which one you wanted to in the moment, which is also interesting. I'm not kidding. It was like an algebra problem trying to figure out like what went with what and the stupid thing. So that's that. Christian, you will be happy to know. You will want to know what happens if you only deal with the little sisters you're forced to deal with and nothing else, right? Because we know we were waiting for Preston to get his comeuppance for skipping an entire mechanic. And the answer is incredibly frustrating, which is they will treat it like however you engaged with the ones you were forced to engage with is how your attitude is treated towards all of them. So even if you ignore everyone, they treat ignoring like a better option than killing, so it's treated as a good option as long as you then save the 3 that you have to engage with.
That's right.
They should have punished Preston. They should have punished him for this.
So if you're playing on like a hard difficulty, you're screwed because you won't have enough Adam to do anything, right? But like that is the consequences. Like you just don't have enough Adam to buy plasmids, right? So they did nothing. So nothing happens if you ignore that mechanic.
Uncool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's that. So fellas, what you got?
I go, yeah. So I think this game's great. It's definitely the best Bioshock game, and it is certainly. This game made me look at Bioshock as a whole, and just be like, Ken Levine, who, like,
yeah.
Do we need him for Bioshock?
It's okay, bro. You don't even need to be here. You could peace out whenever you want. I appreciate the intro of the first one, but it's all right. Everybody over at 2K has got it. Let them keep doing their thing. This was like, I thought the writing was better. I thought all the audio logs were better. I thought the combat felt better. Yeah, like everything. I just thought, and that little sister part, getting the vision of the little sister, was one of the coolest fucking like things I didn't even know that I wanted until it happened. That I was like, oh right, like this is sick. So there's that. The only thing that was weird, and I'm sure maybe it'll come up in Minerva's Den because I know people love Minerva's Den. The only thing that's weird is that I feel like the only plot hole that I kind of noticed in this game, that I'm assuming it must get dealt with in Minerva's Den, but Tenenbaum never gets brought up again, ever.
Not after the beginning. Not after the beginning, yeah.
We see her in the beginning. She hooks us up with Sinclair, and we go do Declare with Sinclair. And then after that, like, she never comes back up. And Sinclair never brings her up. Lamb never brings her up. Like, she is just... Now, and then also, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but... Because... Eleanor says that Lamb is going to detonate a bunch of pillars around Rapture that will drop... Is it just Persephone that gets dropped into the Marianas Trench?
It's hanging
or is it the whole city?
Yeah.
It's just Persephone.
Okay.
Because Persephone is on the trench, yeah.
Okay, so just Persephone. Okay, so never mind then.
So just so you know...
Because also I was going to be like, Ryan, what the fuck? Like, what a dumb ass idea to build this city over the Marianas Trench.
Yeah.
Of all...
But it does... But it does actually make sense to build a prison over the trench in case something happens.
That part's true.
And things, yeah.
So
and
that way,
things
like,
get
if it's just
unruly,
Persephone, that made more. That's why I said, okay, that makes sense then. But it was the city at first, because like we're going up, and it kept looking like everything was going down. But it makes sense that it was just Persephone. But I'm sitting there, and I was like, damn, like that's that, I guess. Like Rapture's fucked. But if it's just Persephone, that makes more sense. But yeah, so then I guess the idea is that Lamb is just like hanging out in Rapture, but like in my ending, right? Like I rescued all the little sisters, and I saved them and turned them back into humans. So they all came up with Eleanor, and she had, the whole thing. So I'm like, Tenenbaum's whole goal was to do that, was to go back down and save all the other little sisters, right? So I'm like, are you just down there twiddling your thumbs, or what's the deal? I don't know. So
she does play a role in Minerva's Den.
Oh, well, then maybe that's where that's at then. Okay, cool.
I've never played Minerva's Den, so I'm not going to look beyond what I just saw. But yes, she does play a role in that.
Okay,
I think the words where she plays is significant.
I've just heard I've heard it's the favorite thing out of any Bioshock thing ever is Minerva's Den. So I'm excited to see what the dealio is. Yeah, I think this game's great. Like I said, I had a blast playing this one. There was no issues for me. I think all in all, I'm probably going 4 out of 5. Without Minerva's Den.
Might be one of my highest rated games. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think I might be going 4 out of 5. I mean, the only criticisms that I can really think of is that I do think that there is, just from a gameplay perspective, even though I think it feels better than Bioshock 1, I still think there is a little bit of that, clunkiness just the combat engine. Like, there's a lot of times where I think the forced damage that you have to take in some scenarios to be able to get something done, it still doesn't feel great. And I hate the fucking camera mechanic. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Little Sisters thing sucks, but more so because I wouldn't say the Little Sister thing sucks. That's probably too far. I just think it's irritating.
Yeah.
It's very tedious. The first time it happened, and honestly, if they made it so that there was fewer Little Sisters in each level, and also it was just one body that I had to cover her for, and then I could put her back in, I'm fine. The fact that every Little Sister is 2 bodies, and there's some levels that have 3 or 4 in there, and I have to go, I'm just like, fuck me, dude. This is, it's just tedium. And so that, I give a little nine, but in general, this game bangs, dude. It's very good. I just was like, I'm down. So I go 4 out of 5. I think 4 out of 5 is a fair score. I think it's very good. And maybe Minerva's Den bumps it up, to be fair. But since it's a standalone DLC, I feel like we rate the DLC separately. But
sure.
I'm kind of feeling the same. So I think the clunkiness and what I disliked about the first game helps better us being the Big Daddy. I mentioned that before. The writing is definitely better. I think not that everything looks the same, but all has the same vibes. There are some spots in here that are pretty cool, but I think they're kind of matching the highs of what Bioshock 1 had, which is also very good. Story's pretty good. You still can kind of tell. I mean, for anyone who's been around a game that has shipped immediately after making a sequel, you can always, there's telltale signs of where that's at here and there. But I also did like it quite a bit. Very happy about the drill dash. Made me a real happy boy. And I'm very glad that they let me just skip the tedium, because I have a feeling they knew how tedious that would be.
I can't believe they let you skip
maybe
it.
your second or third playthrough when you're trying to get the other endings, they don't want you to have to do all that over and over again. So I was very pleased when I actually this ending is kind of all right. It's not the greatest one because I didn't do everything, but it still got there.
I would have felt such vindicated, especially because it was stacking Little Sisters for him.
It was
every level,
yeah,
and it just kept giving him.
I think it capped out at a certain amount because I don't think I saw that bar go any further than 8 or whatever.
Well, no,
it was.
It was, yeah, but that's only because the last one only has 3 in it, and you saved 3 in the mission before, so it knocked down your list and then put you back up to 8.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, I was like, I wanted so badly. I was like, I want him to have to do it.
Nope.
And he never
But still got a
to.
good ending. Not the greatest ending, but still got a good ending.
Preston, you're probably right, because if you're playing on like hard or something, if you're setting traps and using guns, you may not need the plasmas. You probably don't have to engage with that much, which would make it significantly easier ignoring the big daddies and the little sisters on a hard mode than like fighting everything.
I don't know if it changes in difficulty, but like since you are another big daddy, like as long as you're not hurting anyone, like the big daddy's not gonna mess with you. He'll make a little roar at you if you get too close, but that's all he's gonna do to you. Camera system is still garbage. You can say it's better than the other one, but you still have to pull up an inventory piece for it. They should just put it on a separate button. Give me a D-pad button. Give me whatever you want. Just
make it a thing in the menu that after I hit certain kill count, it gives me the bonus. I don't want to have to.
Or just don't do it at all. That also works too. Like maybe,
don't do it at all.
Maybe
that's
the amount
honestly
of kills
that's really
you
what
get,
the answer is.
or maybe the variety of kills you give towards an enemy makes you learn certain things, and you just learn it rather than having to take a photo of it to learn from it. But it's them, riffing off of the originals one's idea of how it's done to make it more Bioshock.
You could have done it. You could have done it through Adam this time around, right? You could have done it through audio logs just for funsies. There's a bunch of different ways you could have done.
But they wanted to keep the aesthetic of that from the first one. So like, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna make it a little bit better to where like you can just press the button and then go to shoot some stuff while it's gathering information.
I think the real answer is what Preston's original answer was, though, is that you just don't do it.
You just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Why does a fucking me, the big daddy, need to take photos and a video camera with me to like learn some shit?
Yeah,
like I'll just fucking kill things. And we'll find out. That's how it should have been. Now, if you wanted to find out before without wasting ammo, then sure, let me take a picture to find the weakness. But I can just shoot them with that piece of ammo and find out, right? Definitely found that was very cool. Eleanor did become a big sister, which I called out in the first part. Although she wasn't a bad big sister, so like it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I was like, oh, she could be a big sister, and like, yep, that's what we got. We got one of those. I thought it would have been really cool if we could play as her, to where you have all that agility and crazy shit going on, teleporting, force pulling things, and jumping around.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be cool, but that's a whole different gameplay mechanic you would have to stack on top of that. And I'm sure that would have been a lot. I'm sure you move this slowly through this game, probably to help with certain things. As far as maybe loading something, as far as whatever they had a reason for it to do. I'm sure you're going that slow for a reason. But yeah, other than that, I felt the same as Christian. So like when we rescored Bioshock 1, I'm like, okay, I know this is better than Bioshock 1, so let me see. Like, okay, I gave Bioshock 1 a 3 out of 5. And I'm like, I think this has improvements for sure. But I wouldn't say it is like multiple points better. So I did also give it a 4 out of 5 because I think it is an exceptional game. I don't think it's a perfect game. I don't think Bioshock in itself is a perfect game. So I don't think it'll get like the 4.5 to 5, but I think 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like every time I was walking around,
the problem is that you gave Bioshock 1 a 5 out of 5
You got the
did I give it a 5 out of 5?
You did. It's your favorite game of all time.
I was hoping. Yeah, I maybe gave it a 4.
No,
but yeah.
Now because I'm like, what do you do here? Because you said this game's better than that, but
yeah, it's a great question. So it's just so much. Like, not only was the story great because the story actually added to Bioshock 1. Like it honestly, this story
made Bioshock 1 better.
It made it better. It made it better. And I agree with you, Christian. Like Ken Levine, like I remember coming into this game, like just not long ago, going like, I don't remember liking this game that much. I remember getting to a point where I was getting audio logs, and this other woman had to do, it was Gracie now that I think back on it, where I'm just like, I don't care. Like, this isn't as good. But I think that was just like unfully formed brain Alex, like back in the day with like blinders on for Bioshock 1 saying like,
lobe.
It's not Kenny doing this. Like,
it's not Kenny.
It actually, like, it's why it makes, and we'll see what happens, but in my opinion, it almost makes Infinite worse because, like, you came back because you saw you were like, oh, well, I didn't want to do 2, and they didn't want to listen to me about 2. We couldn't come to an agreement on 2, so I had to step away, and they made 2. But like, I'm gonna now come back and make the game that like I really want to make, that's gonna tell the penultimate story with Bioshock 1. But it's like, I don't know, man. 2 is really effing good. Like, I don't know that you needed to do anything. So we'll see how that goes. But
hey, do you remember? Does Infinite take place after Bioshock 2?
In Colombia, that is a great question. I don't know. Why don't you somebody?
Not that it's not that it's in Colombia, but do the events of Colombia, like do the events of Bioshock?
I'm not sure.
You have to find out how many years after Bioshock 1, like Infinite happened.
Yeah, because you know what would be sick is like if it did, I would have loved a twist where Eleanor in her new Supergirl form just beats the shit out of Elizabeth from Infinite.
Wait until you get Bioshock 4 because Kevin Levine will be involved, and then they'll make it that.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. So Columbia early in Bioshock series, in Bioshock, Infinite takes place in 1912.
Oh, so before Bioshock.
So well before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bioshock.
I guess that makes sense with all the lighthouse shit at the end, and like and then the time traveling. I guess that makes, but whatever.
Does it, though?
I keep thinking about Burial at Sea shit,
yeah.
and that's
yeah. So, I don't know. Christian and I were just talking about this game as we were playing through. Like, dude, by the end of that game, when I level stuff up, like, I got the spear gun at one point. I'm like, okay, it's kind of like a sniper rifle, like, whatever. But no, man, if you switch the spear gun to the rocket spears...
Oh, buddy.
Oh, you would just see a Big Daddy run up and she'd be like, boom, boom, and 2 big blue lights coming off his head. It's just like, boom,
and you know what's
boom,
really
dead.
cool?
You're like,
if you miss and that rocket is in the ground, if someone touches that fire coming out of it, they light on fire. Because I've missed a Big Daddy and then it was lying on the ground and still caught the Big Daddy on fire because the rocket was there.
So my favorite part is that even though it doesn't make sense, but the rocket spears do not detonate each other, so they will always detonate separately. Mm-hmm. So if you happen to get overzealous and shoot too many rocket spears, and then like maybe you put 3 into a particular enemy, and then the first 2 kill it, that third one will blow around the lifeless body like as it flies, and then will explode. And it's like, it's so funny. Every weapon in this game, I thought, I was just like, even the upgrade paths afterwards, I was like, yep, this is just.
Not to mention when you upgrade, it shows your gun out because it does change it and glows a little bit. Like when I got that upgrade for the shotgun capacity, and it showed like the big chunks on the side of that like double barrel shotgun, I'm like, hell fucking yeah.
Well, and the Tesla, you got the Tesla coils come off at the side. So the first one did that a little bit, but they weren't as cool. Like the upgrades in this one are way cooler. And you get like, I was using the phosphorus shot in at the end, and like you're putting like little like fiery bullets into them, and they just like sizzle and catch on fire and stuff.
It was sisters, our big sisters.
Yeah, big sisters, because they do damage.
I just honestly, dude, after I got the headshot damage upgrade, and then I used the armor piercing machine gun bullets, anytime I saw a big sister, I was just like, get wrecked, and I would pick machine gun out with the armor piercing bullets with the headshot modifier. And it was just like, and I would just watch their health get just fucking, see ya. I'm like, later.
Dude, I would love when I would come around a corner with that headshot thing, and I would have like the spear gun, and you would just headshot one of the splicers.
One of the,
just like, poof.
So not only that, yes, the splicers were a good one, but my favorite one was the Alpha series, because if you caught them in the dome, that was it. They just dropped right there with the spear gun, and I was like, that's what I'm fucking talking about, dude.
So everything about this game makes that one better. It completely makes me not rethink, but like look at the series in a different light, and it has enhanced it.
You're questioning your childhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. I loved this game. I can't go higher than 5 out of 5. And all like realistic, there's things that I didn't love, like the little sister thing in this game, right? So like I wouldn't rate it a 5 out of 5 anyway. But in hindsight, I would go back and I would have to drop Bioshock 1 below this game because everything about this game is better. I still love the series, and Bioshock 1 is just like 10. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but like
we grow.
This
game's
better
as people.
We call that growth, baby.
Yeah.
That's what the book club's all about.
Yeah.
That's what the book club's all about.
It's still Bioshock 1's still one of my favorite games of all time, but like now if I go back and play that game, I'm going to then have to play this game right after it, right? Because it's just the better of the two games. Like, that is how it is. So, yeah, I'm excited about Minerva's Den. In case you guys aren't sure, because I wasn't quite sure where to find it, go into the extras
menu,
download, and then play downloadable content as its own separate thing.
Okay.
In there.
It's dumb,
but
yeah.
It is dumb. It's a dumb menu system. So yeah, man, there's that game, guys. It was great. If anybody,
and to be clear, we're doing Minerva's Den in one part. We're just knocking it out for everybody. We're gonna do that. Our next part, it'll be our final part. But if anybody played along with Bioshock 1, Travis, I know you did. This game is better. You should play this game.
You should play this
and
game.
It's like the same length, so it's not a big lift. But yeah, there's that, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. After next week, Preston, we're back to you. Yeah.
Yes, but we're doing Minerva's Den next week, playing that all the way through, and then
then we get to hear yours.
Knows what we're doing, and we'll do that.
Maybe they don't. Maybe not. Maybe you're gonna mix it up.
Nope.
We're gonna throw a little thing. You almost got caught playing I Am Jesus Christ, because that was gonna be a listener request, and we were gonna make you use your pick on it. So
I mean, I could always just not play it.
Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us, everybody. Don't forget to check out Preston on Star Wars Sundays. And with that, everybody, Preston, you know what to do.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.